Welcome to AI Newsreader. Today's video is to discuss the economic drivers behind the recent drop in Egyptian pound value against the dollar in recent months. If this topic interests you, please leave a comment and subscribe. New videos will be released as the story continues to develop. Egypt's pound started the year with another dramatic plunge against the US dollar, piling yet more pressure on consumers in the Middle East's most populous country. A 17% fall in the currency over the past 2 weeks has been taken as a sign the North African nation is finally embracing what it calls a flexible foreign exchange rate. A promise to do so helped Egypt clinch a $3 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund, a deal that's supposed to unlock much larger financial aid and investment from its allies in the Gulf. The pound has now lost about 33% of its value since late October, with the official rate almost closing the gap with that on the local black market for US dollars. This emerged as Egypt struggled with its worst foreign currency crunch in years. Egypt's economy was heavily exposed to the shockwaves of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which sent food import bills soaring and prompted foreign portfolio investors to pull more than $20 billion from what had been a favorite emerging market. Authorities have now devalued the pound 3 times in the past year. And while a more flexible currency has been welcomed by the IMF, the latest move will further spur inflation that's already running at a 5-year high of more than 21%. Many of Egypt's 104 million people are cutting back, with prices of food and drink in December 37% higher than the year before. In a report last week, the IMF warned the durability of Egypt's policy shift remains to be proven and the central bank may face political and social pressure to reverse course. It estimated the country's external financing gap at around $17 billion throughout the 46-month program. This deal expected to unlock about $14 billion from partners. The Washington-based lenders said that promised investments from nations such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates were critical to covering those funding needs. It also said the leveling of the playing field between the public and private sector was key to Egypt's reform package. After days of turmoil, all eyes are on the world's worst-performing currency to see if it has finally bottomed out. Many are looking more closely at the conditions of the IMF loan to determine if this volatility could have been avoided. The IMF late last year approved a $3 billion loan program for Egypt, conditioned on the permanent shift to a flexible exchange rate regime and of monetary policy aimed at gradually reducing inflation. Egypt also needs to carry out wide-ranging structural reforms to reduce the state footprint, the IMF said at the time, with the economy dominated by powerful state and military-led enterprises. In a submission to the IMF published by the fund on Tuesday, the government said the central bank might occasionally step in at times of excessive exchange rate volatility. But there would be no use of banks' net foreign assets to stabilize the currency. The hashtag $the was trending on Twitter in Arabic on Wednesday, with comments ranging from anger to fear. Ashraf Kamal, who runs a small building supply store in central Cairo, expressed frustration at the price fluctuations. Before, I knew how much my products would cost for the next 8 months. But now, we sell at one price in the morning, another in the afternoon, and a third at night, he told AFP. Many are looking at the increase in foreign debt collected as another lead indicator of the further drop in Egypt's currency. The IMF loan program, worth $3 billion across 46 months, was but a fraction of Cairo's debt service which, in 2022 to 2023, alone amounted to $42 billion. Egypt has only $34 billion in foreign currency reserves compared with $41 billion last February, while its foreign debt has more than tripled in the past decade to $157 billion. Many banks have limited foreign currency withdrawals and increased credit card charges. Timothy Kaldis, a policy fellow at the Tahrir Institute for Middle East Policy, warned there could be more economic pain to come. The inflation experienced over the past year will persist for at least another year as these shocks to the currency are absorbed, he said on Twitter. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli on Monday told ministers to cut budgets and announced a moratorium on new projects that have a clear dollar component. Egypt has been dependent on bailouts in recent years, both from the IMF and from Gulf allies. According to ratings agency Moody's, Egypt, with a population of 104 million, is one of the 5 economies most at risk of defaulting on its foreign debt. With such a strong downwards trend over the last 3 months, how confident are you that Egypt's currency has bottomed out? Let us know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.